Everyone talks about success. Everyone talks about money, fame, and growth. But there is something more valuable, something most people forget. Peace of mind. Think about it. You may earn all the money in the world, but if you cannot sleep peacefully at night, are you truly rich? You may have thousands of followers, but if your mind is restless, do you really feel happy? The truth is this: in today's modern world, peace has become the rarest treasure. Most of us wake up with our phones in hand. Before our eyes are even fully open, we are already scrolling through news, emails, and endless social media. Our minds are filled with noise before the day has even begun, and then the whole day becomes a race. Studies, work, responsibilities, competition, constant comparison. By night, the body is tired, but the mind, still racing, still restless. Have you ever asked yourself, when will I truly feel peace? When will my heart feel light, even for a moment? Let me tell you the story of a young man who asked the same question. His name was Jacob. Jacob was 24 years old, a dreamer from a small town, hardworking, ambitious, full of energy. But he had one problem. His mind never rested. Every morning he woke with a heavy list of tasks already spinning in his head. While brushing his teeth, he thought of deadlines. While eating, he thought of exams. While walking, he thought of his future. Even when he sat with his family, he wasn't really present. His body was there, but his mind was always somewhere else. One evening, after a long, exhausting day, Jacob sat alone on his bed. His head ached, his heart was restless, and in a whisper he asked himself, is this life? Running every single day, yet never tasting peace. That night he couldn't sleep. He remembered hearing about a wise old man who lived on the outskirts of his town. People said this man was always calm, always smiling, always peaceful, no matter what was happening around him. The next morning, Jacob went to find him. Under the shade of a great banyan tree, the old man sat quietly, sipping tea. His face was lined with age, but his eyes were calm. Like still water, Jacob rushed to him and said, "Sir, please tell me, how can I find peace? The world is so busy. My mind is so noisy. I work hard, but I never feel calm inside. What should I do?" The old man listened patiently. Then he smiled and said, "Come with me." He led Jacob to a nearby river. The water was rushing loudly, crashing against the rocks, filling the air with noise. The wise man picked up a small cup, filled it with river water, and handed it to Jacob. "Walk to the other side," he said. "But do not spill a single drop," Jacob agreed. He bent down, filled the cup, and began walking. But as he moved, his eyes kept going to the roaring river. The sound distracted him. His hands shook and the water spilled. He tried again and again. But the more he focused on the noise, the more restless he became. Finally, the wise man chuckled softly and said, "One last time, but this time do not look at the river. Do not listen to the noise. Keep your eyes only on the cup." Jacob obeyed. He fixed his eyes on the cup, blocking out the rushing sound. Step by step, slowly and carefully, he walked across. And this time, he reached the other side without spilling a single drop. The wise man looked at him and said, "This is the secret. The world will always be noisy like this river. You cannot stop it. But if you keep your eyes on your cup, your inner peace, you can carry it safely through life." Jacob frowned. "But sir, in real life, how do I keep my eyes on the cup? I can't just close my ears to the world." The wise man nodded and replied, "Peace is not about running away from the world. Peace is about focusing on what truly matters and letting go of what doesn't. Your phone, your deadlines, your competition, these are like the river's noise. They will never stop. But if you always run behind them, your cup will always spill. To protect your peace, you must learn to control your focus." Then he shared 3 simple lessons. First, begin with stillness. When you wake up, do not rush to your phone. Sit quietly for 5 minutes. Breathe deeply. Let your first thoughts be your own, not the world's. Second, one task at a time. When you eat, just eat. When you study, just study. When you talk, just talk. The mind becomes restless because it tries to be everywhere at once. Give it one job and it will find calm. Third, gratitude before sleep. At night, write down 3 things you are thankful for. Gratitude is medicine for a restless heart. It reminds you of what you already have instead of what you lack. Jacob followed the advice. The first morning was difficult. His hand almost reached for his phone. But slowly he learned to sit in silence. When studying, he resisted the urge to check messages. When eating, he put aside his phone and enjoyed each bite. At night, he wrote down his blessings, his parents' smiles, his health, his dreams. Days passed, and for the first time in years, Jacob felt something different. He felt peace. His life was still busy. The world was still noisy, but inside, he was calm. He carried his cup of peace safely, no matter how loud the river was. So remember this: the world will never slow down for you. It will always demand more. It will shout louder and push harder. But peace is not outside. Peace is inside. You cannot control how busy the world is, but you can control how calm your heart is. True success is not only achieving great things. True success is achieving them with a peaceful mind.